Hello YouTube, it is a beautiful day in New York City. Really nice out here. I feel like I'm overdressed, but this morning, it's a little chill. So I got on my thick sweater, and I was 2 weeks ago, today years old, that I realized some of these sweaters are really thick, and you don't even need a jacket. Like, because my mother, even though, when you move out your parents' house, their voice is still in your head, and my mother will always be like, you gotta wear your coat, you gotta wear a scarf and hat, and as I got older, it's like, no, 45 degrees is not cold. Like, you could wear a thick hoodie and be fine. The other hoodies that I have are very thin, so that's why I had to wear a jacket. But if you live in the hood, I should say the urban areas of Brooklyn, Vim's, they got some really nice sweaters in the men's section. They ain't got no hoodies for the women. I don't know why. Like the hoodie I'm wearing today, Betty Boop, this is feminine. I don't know. I can't imagine a dude, wearing this. But basically, yeah. So Vim's, and they got Looney Tunes hoodies, and it's very thick, like very, very. It's like winter. Like if we have cold winters, I would definitely wear one of these underneath my coat if it ever gets that cold. But yes, these sweaters are very, very thick. Perfect for the fall, hoodie weather, don't need a jacket. Yes. So today I wanted to talk about first dates. And I'm just curious, y'all YouTube world out there, what is the do's and the do nots of a first date? So basically, the way I see it, with everybody that's either engaged, married, or whatever, everybody has their own standards and what they want. You have a lot of women who are married and they, are very patient and they don't really ask for much and they take up with a lot of stuff. So a lot of us single ladies, we just don't have the patience for that. We already got to deal with the kids. We're not going to deal with a man that's a kid. It's like, it's like having another kid in some circumstances. I don't think that it should be like that. I feel like your partner's supposed to be your partner. It's not supposed to feel like another child. And if any event, when it does, that's a dub. But yeah, going with the first date on Instagram today is a whole list of, it was like a long list, but I agree with all of them except for when it said the gym. I don't think there's anything wrong with going to the gym on a first date. However, I think at least one of y'all need to be fit, because the blind cannot lead the blind. Like, it don't make sense for two people to go to the gym and y'all just don't go. That's not something that y'all normally do. Like, somebody has to be able to say, hey, this is what I do when I go to the gym, and so forth and so on. The coffee shop, I don't think that should be a first date, for the simple fact of it comes off as you didn't think of anything. Like, the coffee shop is fine if it's like you trying to get to know the person and you don't really know the person, and you don't really know how you feel about the person. Sometimes when you meet somebody, it's like instant connection. Like, most men that I've dated from the age of 18 till now, they all took me to really nice restaurants. It wasn't, I don't know if they knew that they liked me, so I didn't have to say, oh, well, da-da-da. Except for my previous relationship, I picked the first spot. I actually paid for the first date. I think I told y'all. And that's not good to ever, because that kind of sets the tone for the relationship, right? So, I mean, we went places and he paid for stuff too, but it's just not a good idea. But anyway, so they had this list, like Red Lobster, basically chain restaurants. And it's like, yeah, I don't eat chain food. is no good. Not only is it not healthy, it just doesn't taste good to me. And like I said, to me that shows lack of effort. It shows that you not really thinking about, first of all, you're not even asking me or trying to figure out what type of food I like, right? I think that's important to talk to the person and find out what type of food they like, and then you make your decision of what restaurant you're gonna go to. Don't just take somebody somewhere, because that shows that you like don't care, right? So like with my parents, my father told me how when he was dating my mom, it was all the places he picked out. I said that's not good, because that became the trajectory of their marriage pretty much. Like, it's always what he wants. That's not good. Like, you need to find out what she likes, and then y'all have a mutual decision of where y'all gonna go. Like, oh, you like Mexican food? Good. I know this spot on the Ave that's nice. Da, da, da. That's how you do it. You don't just, oh, we doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, have a mutual agreement to go somewhere. You know, and I think that's important. But yeah, so the list was like a long list, and nobody agreed with the list. I was the only person that was like, yeah, I don't think you should be meeting up at a coffee shop for a first date unless if y'all meeting off the internet. Then yes, that's different. Yeah, so I definitely agree with the list, and it's so funny how it's so many men that don't agree with it. But it's like, at a certain age, who the hell goes to chain restaurants? Even if you out with your friends, like, I cannot consume chain food. I just can't do it. I don't even eat chain I'm about to say tacos, but the only chain takeout that I eat is Crown Fried, but I don't like Popeyes, McDonald's. I can't eat none of that stuff. I don't know if I told y'all in a previous video, but when I showed y'all when I was on a cruise with my son, I ran off when I was on a cruise, and when I got off, I threw up a lot. It wasn't normal throw up, it was a lot. Like, so I just can't eat everywhere, you know. One of the stuff on the list was ice cream. There's nothing wrong with going out for ice cream, but go out for ice cream after dinner. And just recently, I went out with a guy, perfect gentleman, and that's exactly what we did. We went to a Mexican spot, non-chain, and after that, we had ice cream. Perfect date. I mean, I've never had a bad date. Like, every guy that I've been out with, they're all on my level. Yeah, I'm in the hood. It's always sirens. But yeah, I've never had a guy, only when I was 19, and a guy took me to Ruby Tuesday for my 19th birthday. But the way they hooked up the Ruby Tuesday, you wouldn't even think it was a Ruby Tuesday, you know. So, but in general, guys don't take girls out to chain restaurants, so I don't understand why everybody is on. It's just interesting to see, you know, the comment section, because I'm like, dudes don't take chicks out to chain restaurants. First of all, they overpriced, like they really are. They overpriced. The food is not good. And it's like, why would you at our old age, like if you 18, 19, don't know no better, that's different. But you in your 30s, first of all, it's bad enough you dating. You know, for those of us who are single or newly single. But like, why? Like, why would you take somebody to a chain restaurant? And then, like, as far as a coffee shop is concerned, you should be doing that if it's like a coworker, but you don't really know if you like them or not yet, or like somebody you met off the internet. But if you know you like this person, what the fuck is the problem? You know, I don't think there's anything wrong for having expectations or just assuming certain things. Yeah, so Basically, it's nothing wrong with having your standards. Another one was Netflix and chill. Your house. Yeah, it's true. Um, you should not be going to nobody's house on the first date. That is not a date. That person obviously got one thing on their mind, and if even the second date, if you ladies, if you're not ready for that, don't do it because it's a trap. Um, it shouldn't determine if he likes you or not, or if he wants to proceed with you. But unfortunately, with some men, they never grow up. That's just the world that we live in. Some men just never grow up. And unfortunately, if you go to their house the first or the second date, they may not there may not be a third. Or that might be the trajectory of your relationship. And he's gonna expect it all the time. And before you know it, you done wasted months, years with a person, but all y'all had in common was sex. And you don't want that, Especially if you want something meaningful, it's very important to get to know a person before you get physical. And it's so hard, trust me, I know. It's very hard. But you have to establish something non-physical for it to be spiritual and long lasting. We want spiritual connections with people. We don't want demons entering our life and making decisions for us because, oh, the pipe is good. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't want somebody in your life 10, 20 years. You got people that's married, and somebody said it and it was so powerful. You have people that are married and they have ungodly soul ties. I never knew that. I never thought of it like that. But it's true. You have people who are married and that person is not for them, and it's an ungodly soul tie, and what brought them together was sex. They don't have a real connection with that person. It's the sex was bomb, and they confuse lust for love, and they got 4 or 5 kids with a person, and when you ask them what their favorite color is, they can't even tell you, because instead of getting to know that person, they just had sex with them. And basic stuff that they should know about their spouse, they don't know because they never sat there and got to know them on an emotional, spiritual level, right? They don't know what makes them tick. Or you got some people that's married, but they can't even say, oh, my husband, most of us who are dating someone, even if it's not official, we'll be like, oh, he's not having that, or he's not gonna. You got people that's married and they can't even predict what their spouse is going to do because they never took the time to get to know them. And that's sad. You have spouses who, if you ask them, oh, what is his favorite color? They can't tell you. Or what's his favorite sports team? Or they can't tell you. They don't know anything about their man or their woman. What's her favorite spray? What's her favorite lotion? What's her favorite anything? Because they never got to get to know the person. They just had sex with them, had kids, and lived together. That's their whole thing, and you don't want that. Like, who wants that, right? So with the list, nothing wrong with having standards. And today with my coworker, it was funny because it's like I was just thinking to myself, we always say we are too hard on black men. And I was today years old. It's not just black men that say that they want working women for wives. My coworker, he's white, and he was like, he's like, I don't want to be taking care of nobody. I want my wife to have her own job and her own money. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Because my experience, white men who, he wasn't trying to holler, but just in general, from what I know about white men, they don't mind taking care of their women, from what I know. I've had white men approach me and say, I got this, I got that, you don't have to work. And I'm like, I'll pass. But because I'm not a gold digger. Like, for me, the type of female I am, I could never do that. I could never use somebody. It's just not in me. I could never. 2 things that I've never done and I could never do. I've had opportunities and would never do it. I could never cheat on nobody because you have to lie, because the person's going to be like, well, where were you? Da, 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 da. And then now you have to cover that lie up, right? That's something I've never done and I could never do. And I could never use nobody, like use somebody for money, because it's not good. And karma is a bitch. Karma is a serious bitch. So he had his standards. He was like, da, 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 da. And I was like, oh wow, and this man is fat, this man got acne, but he got his standards. You know, and I'm just listening like, and I told him, I said, you hold on to your standards, because when you don't hold on to your standards, what ends up happening, ladies and gentlemen, you end up settling. So whatever standards you have, don't listen to social media, don't listen to people in the comment section, don't listen to none of that. You have a standard, you stand on that, right? I never really had a standard when it came to first dates. That's just what I got used to. Like I told y'all, the only time when a man took me out to a chain restaurant is for my 19th birthday. The rest of my birthdays, when a man took me out, or just when a man took me out in general, when it wasn't my birthday, it was always non-chain. You know, most men that I've dated, they work out. And so it kind of, I guess it just kind of, what's that word? Sponged on me. It rubbed off on me, like with healthy eating. Yeah, it rubbed off on me. And certain things I stopped eating on my own, but it's about the lifestyle. You know, I'm not saying if a guy takes you to a chain restaurant, he's a bad person, but my question is, for some people, is like, if that's all he does is chain restaurants, that wouldn't bother you. Like, you know, non-chain restaurants have better food, better prices, and in most cases, better parking. Right? So, yeah. And those are my thoughts.